In Judges 19:23, you have a similar story. It says, and the man came forth to them. This is the Levite and the concubine, and they're at this house, and the master of the house. And he said to them, and the men have also come to there to have sex with the men. By no means, my brethren, should you you should not do evil indeed with this man entering into my house. This was the Gibeonites. You should not do this folly. Behold, my daughter, the virgin, and his concubine. I will bring them, and you humble them, and do to them the good things in your eyes. But to this man you should not do the thing of folly. So it's the same thing as happened with the story in Genesis that we're at. And it continues in verse 9, Epen they avto, and they said to him, Aposta aki eselthes parikin, you left there to enter here to sojourn, mike krisin krinin, and not to judge with judgment, nin un se kakosomen malon e akinos. Now then, to you we will inflict evil rather than them. So they're threatening the man, Lot. Ke paraviason to andra, ton lot, sfodra. And they were pressing the man Lot exceedingly. Ke igisan, sin tripse, tin theron. And they approached to break the door. And then in 10, ektinantes they e andras tas hieras isespasato ton lot prosiaftus is ton ikon. And the men, that is the angels, stretching out the hands, drew Lot towards themselves into the house. Ketin theron to iku apek klisan, and the door of the house they locked. And then in verse 11 it continues, Tus they andras tus ontas apitis theras tu iku epataxen in eorasia. And the men, being at the door of the house, were struck with inability to see. So it was the men, andras, wasn't women. They were struck with an inability to see, eorasia. Apo mikru, micro, small as a derivative, micron, unto megalu, mega, there's the two, the small and the great, the mega. And ke paralithisan, zituntas tin theron, and they were disabled in seeking the door. Verse 12, Epon they e andras pros lot, and the men, the angel said to Lot, Ec odi gamvri, are there here to you any in-laws? E thigateris, our sons, our daughter? Etis, or if we'll go over to this next column. C, alos estin, is there any other to you? Inti poli, exagage, ek to topu, topography is a derivative, the place. This place. You lead them out of this place, and it's in the imperative. You can see the exclamation. That means that one of the verbs in the sentence, generally the one before, is in the imperative, which is really great with the Greek because we have this imperative. We don't have it in the English. Verse 13, Oti emis apolimen ton topon tuto, for we destroy this place. Oti ipsothi e kravgi avton enanti kiriu, for their cry was raised up high before the Lord. Now I'm not exactly sure their cry of evil or somebody there praying to God, the cry. Ke apestilan imas kyrios ek tripse avtin, and the Lord the Kyrios, tetragrammaton in the Hebrew, sent us to obliterate it. And then verse 14, Exilthe they lot, ke elalise poros tus gamvrus av tu. And Lot went forth and spoke to his sons-in-law. So sons-in-law, plural, means that he had two, and therefore he had two other daughters at least. Tus ilifontus tas thigateras av tu, the ones taking his daughters. And I don't think it's the other ones were unmarried, so couldn't have been the ones that he had. Ke epen anastite, ke exilthate ek tu topu tutu. He said, rise up, come forth from out of this place. Lot said that to the sons-in-law. Oti ektrivi Kyrios tin polin, for the Lord is obliterating the city. Well, these men were probably not, they're of the city, and they were not of the family of Abraham, and they wouldn't even know who this Lord was. And they probably could care less, and so it says, Edoxe they Geliazin, enantion ton gamvronov too. But before his sons-in-law, for he seemed to be joking. So they took this as a joke. In 15, Enocha they orthos ageneto espudazon e angeli ton lot legontes. And when dawn came, the angels hurried Lot, saying, Anastas, rising, lave tin gine kasu, ketas theo thigaterasu, as echis. Take your wife and your two daughters whom you have, ke exelthe, and come forth. Ina me ke si sina poli, that you should not also be destroyed together. Tes anomies tis polios, in the lawlessnesses of the city. So here we have first we had ungodly asavia, and here is anomias. Nomo is a law, astronomy, the nomi. You see it right here, nomias. An a in front of a Greek word, many times a noun, many times puts it in the negative, in this case, lawlessness of the city. So come forth. In verse 16, Ke etara rakthison, ke akratisan e angeli tis hieros av tu, ke tis hieros tis ginekos av tu. And they were disturbed, all the people, and the angels held his hand. Hieros, we had that earlier, chiropractor with the chiro, hero, held his hand, and the hand of his ginekos, his wife. Ke ton hieron ton theo thigateron av tu, and the hands of his two daughters. Ento physaste kyrion av tu, in the Lord sparing him. So now here they're going out hand to hand, escaping from Sodom. And ke ageneto inica exiga gen av tus exo, and it came to pass when they led them outside, ke epon, and said, Zozon soze tin siav tu psikin, by escape with your own life. This sozo is delivered. It's not being saved, but escaping. Mi perivlepsi ista opiso, mi they stis in pasi ti perihoro. You should not look round about to the rear, nor stand in any roundabout place. Isto oros, a mountain orology. Sozu, escape. Mi pote sim para leaf this, that lest at any time you be taken with them.